Dr. Ivan Ostril. After a freak accident, extended exposure to bad video games now causes him to transform into the Shovelwarewolf. But now he's our prisoner, while his body rests in stasis. We've trapped his mind in the digital false reality, which we're broadcasting straight to you. Though it's been a month for us, it'll feel to Ivan as if no time has passed since his last experiment. But now that we've heard your suggestions on what to torture him with, I think it's time we boot up the simulation once more and continue the games.
Good morning, Ivan. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's time we start another experiment.
Don't worry about it, Ann. You're only trying to help, so I can't blame you for making me play bad games. Let's get right into it then. What's up for examination today?
This is Funko Fusion. It's a crossover-themed action-adventure game based on, you guessed it, Funko Pops!
The stupid little vinyl toys with the dead black eyes? What made you pick this game?
Well, I know how much you got sick of listening to all the moronic dialogue in Suicide Squad, so I figured we could play something where the characters don't talk at all!
Makes sense. I guess.
Plus, I have it on good authority that it's absolute trash!
Splendid. Let's give it a go then. How did they come up with these options as starting worlds? Sure, Jurassic World gets a new movie like every year, and Scott Pilgrim's still popular, but ain't nobody asking for a Battlestar Galactica world. That shit hasn't been relevant for years. Why the hell are there so many cutscenes in a Funko Pop game?
At least nobody is spouting poorly written dialogue. That's gotta be a plus, right?
That's a really low bar to pass, so I'll reserve judgment for when the game actually begins. It's really disappointing to see a classic piece of horror cinema kidified and played for cheap laughs. But I guess that kind of humor tracks, since this basically feels like a cheap knockoff of the Lego games.
That's pretty much what it is, Ivan. 1010 Games, the developer, was co-founded by John Burton in 2021. He's the same guy who co-founded Traveler's Tales and helped create the Lego game series before his departure in 2019. This was basically designed as a spiritual successor to Lego Dimensions.
I'd love to dive more into this guy's genius decision to make a shitty ripoff of his own game, but I'm a little preoccupied trying to figure out where the hell to go. This place is a freaking maze. There's no map, and the game isn't very clear about what my abilities are. How the hell was I supposed to know I had to switch characters and shoot that? Ugh, this is so repetitive! You know what else is repetitive? Having to fucking switch characters every 2 minutes because the one I'm playing as doesn't have the stupid ability I need!
Well, that didn't take long. Buckle up, everyone. Here we go.
You know, this wouldn't be so bad if I could just switch characters at the press of a button. But no! I have to find a freaking Funko box and smack it a few times like it owes me money. Seriously, buying this thing isn't good enough? I have to charge it too? Walmart doesn't sell me dead batteries, so why the hell does this thing? Until we meet again, He-Man! Oh, damn! Never mind. Are the minions in the room with us? gonna be another crime scene to examine after I kill myself out of boredom. I enjoy Hot Fuzz as much as the next guy, but did it really need a game adaptation?
There's a Shaun of the Dead cameo level, if you prefer a different flavor of Cornetto.
I haven't even seen all the main worlds yet. There's no way I'm wasting my time visiting secret ones. Why is it that every other freaking level is basically just some hide-and-seek bullshit? I'm so sick of wandering around these labyrinthine levels looking for huskies or dinosaurs or whatever the hell Hazel and Cha-Cha are. Yeesh! This must have been the easiest paycheck ever for these voice actors. I wish I could get paid hundreds of dollars to just stand around grunting and groaning into a mic. Wait a second! Where are those two morons I was with? Oh, come on! As if escort missions weren't bad enough, I have to deal with idiotic AI that gets stuck in walls or stops following you if you walk more than 2 inches away from them. Gah!
You know, that reminds me. If you wanted to stay on brand, you could totally play as the Wolfman Funko.
What the hell's the point? He plays exactly the same as the 600 other DLC characters you have to pay to unlock, most of which don't even have the abilities you need to actually complete the game. Piss off, speech bubble! I'm trying to kill people right now, not read!
Life is pain.
Ain't that the truth? Especially if you're playing this shit. And hey, I thought you said there wasn't any dialogue in this game.
Whoops, my mistake. Eddie Funko's backstory does feature dialogue, and he's voiced by Clancy Brown.
Well, I'm glad he can add evil Funko Pop to his illustrious voice acting career. Though I gotta say, it's a huge step down from Mr. Krabs and Lex Luthor.
And I thirst for something more.
Yeah, me too, Clancy. Because I'm getting seriously tired of constant escort missions and boss fights where there are hundreds of little shits climbing inside of my ass while I'm trying to collect this weird purple goo. Maybe if they hadn't spent all their money on licensing fees, they could have created some actual variety in the gameplay. Or, you know, fixed it so that objects don't just float in the air or that the dinosaur I'm supposed to rescue doesn't get stuck in the terrain. Are you kidding me? Right at the end of the level? But I don't want to have to play it again. I didn't enjoy it the first time.
Oh, for fun and fun for all. Oh, pathetic.
I gotta agree with Eddie on this one. For a game with fun literally in the title, this is about as enjoyable as being stuck in traffic. And what do you know? Another escort mission! Except for this one, the developers asked themselves, how can we make escort missions more annoying? Oh, I know! How about we make it so that the player has to turn music on all around town for this dipshit to walk? That'll be a fun twist. Or what if they do a scavenger hunt during a boss fight? They'll love that!
So get ready, Freddy.
Ready for what? It's not like you're gonna show me anything different than what I've been suffering through already. It's just the same shit over and over again. Oh goody! It's all the good guy Funko Pops that helped me defeat the bosses earlier. Except now Eddie's made them evil, and I have to fight all 7 of the assholes back to back. And what would a boss fight in this game be without a bunch of these little fuckers constantly beating the shit out of me? Glory, huh? All I'm beholding right now is that the developers couldn't even be bothered to design an interesting fight for Eddie's final form. Just a pile of purple shit that you shoot until it dies. Or until he gets saved by the power of friendship, or some stupid shit like that. You know, these guys really achieved something special with this game. Not only did they license a bunch of different properties, but they managed to make a bad game out of every single one of them. I hope they're proud of their accomplishment.
If by accomplishment you mean commercial failure that led to massive layoffs at 1010 Games.
Serves them right. The game's just as soulless as the worthless figures it's based on.
I'll compile the data and start looking into what you can try next. Maybe the next game won't be as bad.
I won't hold my breath on that one.
As well you shouldn't, Ivan, because I won't sugarcoat it. The next game is no treat. And just like Funko Fusion, it was recommended by fans like you. So keep sending your suggestions, and we'll see you next time!
Do you like collecting things? Do you like it even more when what you're collecting is utterly useless and overly priced? Well then you're in luck, pal! Fresh from the factory and inspired by today's playthrough of Funko Fusion itself, the Shovelwarewolf Funko Pop! It's one of a kind and can be yours for the low price of 1 million space bucks! Don't let this deal pass you by. Order today.
Not available in the Milky Way galaxy.